Hey everybody, Spellman here to go over briefly what happened at Syracuse and shoot for the moon, and more importantly, the progressions I've been making since January when I was facing some, again, I wouldn't call it a hitch or anything, but certainly hitchy, um, and where we're at now with that and how that's going to kind of shape the next couple months for me. So, to just kind of jump right into it, Syracuse. First and foremost, thanks to my partners, Jalbert and Bruce Robbins. Um, and second of all, thankfully, to the dart gods, I didn't suck the entire time. I did more than I wanted to, but that's just the way it goes sometimes. So, heading into this event, I wasn't very sure what to expect because January was just god awful. Those first couple days, practicing leading into Q school, then actually traveling there and playing those first 2 days, I felt like I was the best player in Europe. And then things just didn't continue that way, unfortunately. Um, Developed a little bit of again, it's not dartitis, it's not a hitch, but there's something that just changed in the brain. Can't explain it. Just overnight, all of a sudden, what used to feel just naturally comfortable, suddenly throwing fast and releasing late. That's what feels comfortable. Don't know where that came from. So it's been taking uh, effort to rewire the brain to what I know works for me. I can throw fast. I can release my dart at the end of my throw, uh, but I'm just better the way that I've engineered my throw to be. So, looking at some of the things here, came into it. What was this? I don't even remember what this was. This is Q School. That's right, because I wanted to first touch on where I was heading into it. So, first match at Q School, over 100. Next one, nice 93. And then just a little bit of a dip on the 85. Not a big deal. He played well. He shot a 92. That next day, though, man, I felt good. 94, 106, 96, 100. I lost with 101 and a half to a 98. So even as well as I was playing, stats wise, it didn't get me past the top 64 this day, and it didn't get past the top 16 that day. But combined average, it was, I don't quite remember, but for those first 2 days, it was something like a 98, 99. First 9 scores of 110, just plain excellent. Take the day off. That following day coming in, I don't think the day off had anything to do with that. I've taken plenty of days off and been just fine. And I don't think it was the stress and pressure of it because, as I said in some of my other videos, I don't want my card. Now, was I trying to get it? Well, duh, I was there and I was trying to play good. I was, you can see by these numbers here, I was trying to play good. If I won my card, cool. But if I didn't, not the end of the world because that was kind of my preference anyway. I wanted to kind of kick ass and challenge tour, get the invites without the commitment kind of thing. And then go kick some ass on Modus. Well, as we all found out, that didn't happen because that next day, coming in that first day, it wasn't terrible, but 85, 89. But I could tell something something wasn't right. My warm up was awful. Uh, these were, I mean, like I said, the averages are fine, but something felt not right. Uh, but you know what? I've had bad days before. I genuinely wasn't worried about it because like I said, pretty much from Worlds all the way up to those first 2 days at Q School, I felt like I couldn't really miss. Then comes the next day where I go 75, 75. I don't know that I've hit a 75 in a pressure, like serious match in a long time. I don't know when, but I could not let go of that dart. No matter, it seemed like the earlier I tried to let go and the slower I tried to throw, my brain overrode it, and we went faster and later into the throw. There was 2 times in the same match. I don't remember which match it was. It wouldn't surprise me if it was one of these guys, where I was shooting a triple 20 and I hit a bull. I hit a 25 twice in the same match, shooting triple 20 because my throw was so fast and my release was so late that I was letting it go at the very end of my throw and pulling that thing down. And I couldn't do it. It was involuntary. It felt comfortable. It felt good. But that was me almost trying to correct it, try to slow down, try to release on time early, right as I'm moving forward. And like I said, my brain would override me. We'd go faster, and it would make me hold on that dart longer, and I would drag that thing down by this much. It was stupid. Now, if I didn't try to adjust, I would stack all three darts in a nice little pinhole, but they were all this much too low. Doesn't do me any good if I'm going 60, 60, 60, 60. They were pretty 60s, but it didn't matter. Anytime I tried to correct it, I'd push into the 5, push into the 1, miss down into the bull. Like it felt like dartitis, even though I know it wasn't. Some of you might have saw the clip on Modus where I was purposefully trying to slow down, make sure I release on time, and I could feel my arm like being like, nah, we going fast. I tell people it's like Ricky Bobby, I want to go fast. And I caught it right before I could start going forward, so I kind of did like a little quick whatever and reset, and just kind of, I didn't try to do anything, I just like, whatever, let's just throw the damn dart. But anyway, I progressed to, I did at least have a decent, I don't know if this was just, maybe I kind of got lucky. I know my throw didn't feel good that day. This was probably just hyper focus, like really, I don't know. It kind of, obviously it kind of came out of nowhere after I'm shooting 275s. That next day, just as bad, 83. I probably would have been in the 70s had he not played fairly well with that 89. I spent a lot of time that night, really, I mean hours and hours and hours, only working on slowing down, release the dart. And I made some progress, but it was taking a lot of mental power and focus that I don't usually have to exert when I'm playing. Well, coming the next day, started off well with a 91 against a very quality player in Crabtree. Throw goes to crap again, can't let go of the dart. I'm back down to the low 80s. I kind of find it again, back in the 990s near tons. Everything's good. I get to this point, I actually beaten 6-0 if I'm not mistaken, and unfortunately for him, and I think I brought this up in my last video, all he had to do, he didn't even have to beat me, he just had to win 3 legs, and he would have got through. Unfortunately for him, he caught me right when I was kind of getting my timing and release right, and then the next match, right back into can't let my dart go. Unfortunately for this one, I mean, he shot a 90, and it was I lost 6-4. If I win that match, I probably have my tour card right now. So I'm not sad about not having the tour card, but what I am sad about is this, an 80. That's not, I have too much pride in my abilities to be happy with that, even if I didn't want my card. I wanted to win that match. I wanted to play well. But anyway, bring this up because when I got home, I took a couple days off. I didn't have any time off at all while I was over there. It was, when I wasn't playing Challenge Tour, I was at like a local competition, and then after Q school, leading into Q school. Oh my God, I can't talk. After Q school, leading into Challenge Tour, I had a bunch of local comps, in the nights in between. So I didn't really have any days without competitive darts, and then at Challenge Tour, you play 2 events Friday, 2 events Saturday, 1 event Sunday. I caught the train Sunday night to go down to Modus to play Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Unfortunately, not Saturday this time. The last 2 times I was on Modus, just blew through the field, and this time, I mean, I was even in the back telling them, like, I'm more concerned about fixing my throw this week than winning. If my throw comes together, I'm gonna be fine. But if it doesn't come together, it doesn't. And double 20 was kind of my marker. If I let go of the dart on time, I either hit it or I was a little high. But if I couldn't let go of my dart, I was low every single time. And I told the guys in the back that I know the commentator said, why does he keep leaving 40? Maybe he should try switching. Well, look, if I told the guys in the back, if I can't hit my favorite double, I don't deserve to win. If I can't get my mechanics working for me, then I don't deserve to win. I'm going to stick with it. And then once it starts falling, then y'all are in trouble. And the problem is it never started falling. So I was the one that got in trouble. So anyway, jumping into Syracuse. All right. So the first event, you can't really judge these like, yeah, I hit a 59. This was double in, double out, 401. Now, to be fair, when I play double in, double out, especially when I'm playing well, I'm still typically shooting high 80s, low 90s. My doubling is usually very good coming in. My scoring is good, and my finishing is pretty decent. So I'm still finishing pretty decent. So, so the first match, 88, whatever. It's just, but you can't really gauge anything off of 401. So we'll skip that. I did win it. Fortunately, that was a good way to kind of bounce back a little bit when the very first event you play in. So let's see. Jumping into singles. Singles 501. Didn't make it past the top 32, but as you can see, I put a lot of work into letting go of my dart, getting my timing and release down. I shoot 103, 105, and some of these matches were quite good. Coming over here, I had a little nothing crazy there, but almost had a 9 dart attempt there. Come right back, I'm on 124. Playing pretty good. Next one, same thing. Nice. Nothing necessarily crazy about that first leg. Again, when I'm just solid, and then 140, 180 for a 12 darter, 140, 180, 105 for another 12 darter. So again, playing pretty decent. But then right back into can't let go of my dart. Get down to the 80s. I try to work on it a little bit. Against Matt, I kind of got it there. I don't know. Maybe he and Kyle Owen could tell you. I was not very happy with how my darts were flying. They didn't feel very good, but somehow I was still all around the triple. I was one hole out. The problem is it didn't count for nothing. Going 60, 60, 60, 60. At least this time I was missing high, but that was kind of the result of me trying to work on my game in between this match, because it was like I was right back in Europe again. Quite annoying. Matt played awesome. I think he took out a 142 to actually beat me. So it wouldn't have surprised me if this would have dropped if he hadn't played so well. I probably would have been closer down to there. Heading into triples again, it just kind of from this event and heading into it, it was awful. I felt like I know the other two were kind of burned out too. Asia had a couple long runs. Bruce had been kind of struggling in general. So it didn't make me feel good that I couldn't like pick them up and throw them on my back and try to carry them a little bit. Normally I'm able to, just couldn't this time. But just not where I want to be. Now something kind of clicked back in doubles 501 where I was letting go of my dart on time, and the game is so much easier when I actually do what I'm trying to do. So, a little rough first game, but then 100, 90, 101, 115, 104, 88 in the final. Like I actually felt like I was back to normal. Even if we look at, even the chart, it's, that's 401, so you can't really count that. But, it's just lots of highs and then lots of not so highs. I've been telling people I don't have much of a B game right now. It's like my A plus, or my C plus, and that's about it. Even on the cricket side, sub 4, mid 5. Sub 4, low 5. Or, well, I guess this would be a low 5 too, but still. Then whatever event this was. This was the doubles because we lost to Larry in them. Sub 4, high 4, high 4. There's a B game there. Cool. High, almost a 5, almost a 5. This was a lot higher. I don't know what happened the last 2 legs. It was like the first 3 legs I couldn't miss. And then the last 2, right back to Germany. Or I don't know why I keep saying Germany. Right back to England again. Like just, I don't know. It's just like a switch. It just kind of comes and goes. But back over here in singles, sub 4. Nothing great. Doug played awesome. So this was kind of a empty 4. Mid and high. So it just seems like I don't have a middle game right now, and it's crazy, and it's driving me crazy. Anyway, but it wasn't the worst. Bruce and I made both finals. We really should have won this one here, but that was my fault. We did win the 01. I was making fun of Bruce because he was struggling. I told him look, I'll do all the heavy lifting as long as you hit the double. I don't care. It seemed like the majority of the matches, that's pretty much what happened, is I did all the heavy lifting. I was making fun of him one of the legs. Where is it? It was this one. 180, 24. 121, 24. Don't care. Like, he didn't hit the double this time, but he did get a stab at it. So the one turn, that he picked it up, he almost hit the double. But for the most part, he was... If you look through most of the matches, he was the one taking it out. I was doing most of the heavy lifting, so I'm happy with that. Enjoyed playing. It was my first time playing with him, and I know that, like I said, he was a little bit on a dip that weekend, but it didn't matter. He played good enough to, you know, help us get some wins there. Should have been both. Again, I feel like it was my fault on the doubles cricket, but the way I've been playing, I was happy that I was able to play as well as I did to get us there in the first place. So I'll take that. So again, put in more work. When I came back, I had DPFL matches. Actually, if I'm going to pull that up right now, just because I didn't plan to, but I'm going to pull it over here. The thing that frustrated me is, and I'm going to zoom in here. Let's see, where are we at? Group C. And there's so many people. All right, I'm almost there. Almost there. One more to go. I think I'm in Group F. All right. Yeah, there we go. All right, so I come back from England. I take a couple days off. I focus only on working on my throw speed, my release, and all that stuff. And then I throw a 98 over 15 legs. So I was like, okay, I'm back. And then a couple days later, I shoot an 84 over 16 legs, and it was not great. I mean, it 74, 82, 76, 70. Like, I could not let go of my dart. I just couldn't do it. I don't know why. Even in a match that wasn't even worth anything. It's just a regular season match, and I mean, fortunately he played well. Otherwise, that would have sucked for both of us. But I couldn't let go of the dart. Couldn't do it. I still threw in some decent ones here. The 90, more of a B level game for me, which I was actually happy with because I haven't had very many of those. But then I played this yesterday. Couldn't let go of the dart. In fact, it was just one of those where halfway through, I honestly didn't even care at that point. I already knew I was in the playoffs. I mean, I was still trying to win, don't get me wrong, but it was just, I couldn't let go of the dart. Couldn't let it go. I had other good matches, 95 and a half. These were all, since then. So it just seems like I'm either putting up a 95 plus or I'm shooting low 80s, high 70s. Not shooting that 85 to 92 range very much right now. And it's just, and when I do, it's almost like I'm transitioning from I'm hitting everything to, crap, I can't let go of the dart again, and then right back into it. It is not happening with the frequency that it was before. I'm very happy and thankful for that. But it's still happening, so I'm still working around it. I know what the problem is. I just need to figure out why my brain just randomly decided that we want to change everything. It usually only happens when I'm like zoned out, almost almost too comfortable. I just start. I don't know. It's just like instead of just like kind of lobbing darts, now I'm doing the opposite. I'm just firing them in. I can't stop it. Can't stop it. Sometimes, I mean, there's been a handful of times, and when I say handful, it's not even a handful. It's more like the tiniest hand you can find of legs where I was able to get through that, kind of correct it during and then run away with it. But even Booyah Cup, which I'll discuss next week, it was the same thing. I'd have matches where I couldn't miss, and then awful, just awful. If you watched some of the matches where Jason Watt was carrying me in doubles cricket on Sunday, I had nothing. I couldn't it wasn't, honestly, I wish it was fatigue. I mean, I was fatigued and everything, but it was that plus I couldn't let go of the dart when I wanted to. It was very frustrating. So heading into Shoot for the Moon, shooting with Danny Baggish, so that was pretty cool. First time I've shot with him. Expected to do better then because I was feeling even better in this event, or heading into this event, than I did in Syracuse. Issues still happening, but just less and less frequent. Well, this match right here, I know this is 301, so who cares about the average? But this match against Baggish was perfect example of the issue that I have been going through, and fortunately got caught on camera. So I'm going to jump over here and we're going to watch it, just a smidge of it. So when I talk about the placement of my dart, it's low. That one was to the right. It's low. That one to the left. But kind of keep in mind this spot where it's at right here, because it happens a lot. That one was a little bit high. Fortunately, on the 19 is a little easier. Seems like it's really mostly happening on the top side of the board because we're throwing up at it, so I'm missing low. So let me kick over here. Oh, look. Dart, I'm low. This one, I'm low. Next one, that one kicked off the barrel. But again, roughly the same spot. Good grouping. Skip ahead. Let's see. Low, about the same spot. Let's see what happens. Low, and that was me purposefully trying to get up there. I start to get a little more animated with my frustration because I'm so tired of this stupid thing. And I'm not overthinking here. I'm like, obviously my darts are all landing in the same spot, so I'm not changing my throw. I'm just trying to work through this slow whatever it is I'm going through. So here again, that one, I mean, it was a fat 20, so that one was probably where I wanted it, but low on the 20. The 10s have been all right because if I miss low on those, then I'm still vertical. But this particular time I pushed in, which is unfortunate because guess what? I got to shoot double 5 next, and guess what? That's a shot where missing high or low doesn't really help you. So, do you want to guess? Do you want to guess what happens? You'll probably be right. Let's see. Do I drop it low? Oh yeah, I drop it low right into the 12. That was a good shot. Let's see. I get another shot. Let's see what happens here. Am I going to be low? Oh man, I'm low. All right, go into the 1. I don't remember if I'm low on the 2 or not, but I was high that time. All right, so let's skip into the next leg. Let's see. Getting in, not a problem, but low on the 20 when I went to score. Let's see where this dart goes. Oh, look, it's low and to the left. And then the next one, oh, it's low and centered, and that's me getting frustrated about not being able to get it up. Anyway, then guess what? Another one. That one was low, but again, I don't care about the bottom of the board. Let's go back. Let's see what happens now. Oh, look, another one is low. And oh, look, another one is low. And, oh, that one was high. I threw you off on that one. But, all right, one more. I think it's one more turn I get. I'm low again. Look, you can even see it. You watch my mouth. Low. Let's see if I do it again. Let's see if I'm low again. Oh, I was high that time. Nice. I do catch the triple 19, but I don't get another shot. I'm pretty sure he takes it out. Yeah, he takes it out. So, anyway, switching back over here. Hopefully that kind of illustrates like I'm very consistently releasing it in a small window, but low. Sometimes I'm left, sometimes I'm right. Yeah, whatever. But for the most part, that x-axis, or wait, no, the y-axis. There we go. Y-axis is I'm just low. Normally, when I release my dart early, I get that extra height, and that's where I hit all those damn triples because I have that line right. But I kept doing this through Q School and Modus and Challenge Tour. I just couldn't stop missing low. I can't let go of the damn dart when I want to, and it is so frustrating. But you know what? It's frustrating, but I'm still positive because I know I can work through it. I've already kind of worked through it enough to where I'm, like I said, when I'm playing good, I'm playing good. I'm playing really good. Come into doubles, mixed doubles, and playing decent. High 80s, 97, 114, 180. Like I said, I feel like I'm playing pretty decent when when I can actually let go of the damn dart. And singles, mid 80, 104, and then right back to the low 80s. Again, it's just that up, down, up, down. There's not a lot of in between. I mean, I guess this technically counts because it's over 85, but there's just not a lot of things in that 85 to 92 range. It's either I'm playing a ton average or I'm playing an 80 average, and a 20-point swing is not good enough. So anyway, back into doubles 01, played pretty good. I'm very happy with how I played here. 94, 97, 93. Little bit of a drop there. Maybe that was some double attempts because I feel like I played pretty solid pretty much the entire way through the event. 95 and 104. Really happy with that level of play. Going into triples. I don't remember triples. This could be that if I'm not mistaken, we were all pretty tired at this point, so I'm not going to judge myself on some of these numbers because I just don't remember. But again, lots of highs and not some not so highs that I'm not happy about. But there were fewer of them, which is what makes me happy. If I switch over to cricket, It's kind of, again, the same story, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, it's uh, mid four, upper four, and then here. So this was more of other than this game, this is more of a B game event for me. So I was actually, ironically, kind of happy about that, because I was like, okay, there's the game where I'm not missing because I'm mechanically unsound. It was just, I was just missing. So I know that might sound dumb, but maybe some of you would understand that it's like I would rather miss because I suck versus I miss because there's something wrong. Um, but Kleinfelter played really well. He's, as well as he played, he still gave me opportunities to win, and it's just I couldn't do it. It was, he couldn't miss a triple 19, if I think it was, and he was basically MVG on those things, or as Elliot Milk would say, he was Phil Taylor. Uh, but no, he played really well. I sometimes you find yourself in situations where we're playing the same, but he's, or maybe not he, but like my opponent is still kicking my ass. I remember it was Bob Misk or Miskey, or I played him one year where I'd hit a five and he'd hit a five, and I'd hit a five and he'd hit a five, but I was getting my ass beat because I was going single, single, triple. He was going first dart triple. Every leg, every throw of every leg that we played, first dart triple. And it wasn't driving me crazy that he was hitting a triple or that he was hitting a five mark every time. It was driving me crazy that it was the first dart, because now he could do whatever he wanted with the next two darts. He could take a stab at mine or move on to the next number, whatever he wanted to do. Whereas me, I'm going single, single, triple. Okay, cool. I'm up by 40 points, but like I can't do anything with that. It's a little frustrating. But he did give me two game shots, two different game shots. Actually, three. I think I needed first one of the legs that he won. I had one dart at trip 16, and I missed by wire. I was actually fine with that attempt. I was wanted to hit it, but second, Jesus, another leg. I think I needed like one or two bowls. I think I hit the double and just needed a triple 17 and went at it and wire and only hit two, and then he won it. So uh, not upset with that. He played really well, and I had my opportunities. I just didn't take them, so I'm fine with that. And then back into the doubles cricket. Not as consistent. I had some struggles there. Low four, low three, uh, three, and then an three, but otherwise 4-5, 4-8, 4-4. I'll take those. But again, it's just I was seeing a little bit more of the B game come out at Shoot for the Moon. It wasn't as much as I wanted, but it was what it was. I'm going to turn this way now that I'm not having to do that anymore. But yeah, um, but the way that this is kind of shaped up is my B game's coming back. My A game is still really good. Actually, if I look up one other thing, shot DPFL. Let me push me back over here so that I can show this. But when it's clicking, man, is it clicking? So if I come over here, I had a 92, but the first 9 scoring of 112, and that was over how many legs? Oh, is it not going to let me? Let me see if I zoom out a little bit. There we go. It was over 26 legs. I'm very proud of a 100 and almost 13 scoring average over that many legs. Like it was, I played really well. 102, 99, 91. Kind of started to dip as the night went along, but most of that was double trouble. It had nothing to do with my scoring. I think my doubling just. Let's see if I'm not mistaken. I know that this is it of 39%. It's not as bad as I thought it was. I felt like I missed a lot of double. It's probably one of those situations where I'd either hit it the first dart or it would take me like 4 or 5, which is frustrating. But 2 out of 5 is still 40%. It's just if I'm going 1 out of 3, 1 out of 2, 1 out of 3, 1 out of 2, it doesn't seem as bad as when I go first dart, 5 darts, 5 darts, first dart, 5 darts. It just feels different. But anyway, point is that when the game is good, is really good. It's world class good. But when it's not, it's 20 points below, and it's frustrating because I can tell that I'm not doing it right, and it's like my brain just decides, for this match we're going to throw this way. give me a couple minutes off to the side. I can sometimes correct it, especially now. In Europe, I tried. I couldn't do it. My brain just was overriding everything. So I'm trying some different things. Let's say that whatever this change was in my brain, it's like this is just the new norm. Like when I used to throw more actually in that shot thing. Uh, I stand at a 45-degree angle. My natural throw would just come straight. Uh, if I got tired or lazy or turned my body or something like that, and I had kind of poor mechanics, then I'd start dragging it into the 555, which it's been commentated on like the CDC that my miss tends to be into the five. But I knew why I did that, and I knew that was my own fault. Well, now my natural comfortable throw at 45 degrees is left on the 555 and hitting the 555. Now there's multiple ways that I can correct this, and I've actually talked to some of the people that I'm coaching about how I'm working through it, because I can either force myself to make sure that I'm staying nice and straight. I would prefer to do what feels natural, because that's less brain power I have to use. But now that my natural comfortable feel is just going left, now that I've corrected for the late release point as well as the extra speed, I don't know if after correcting those, now there's this third bit that I need to work on. But anyway, I could easily kind of figure, okay, well, if my natural throw is falling over here, I could kind of just rotate a little bit. Maybe not be so much at a 45. I'm not talking about being like straight on the Aki, but still change it to where my natural throw falls here. I tried that for half a day, decided, hey, I'm going to try it in the DPFL shot, Dart Players Championship, whatever. And that first night, I had that 113, whatever, because now I was kind of just able to throw freely and naturally. But I'm still tweaking with some stuff. I don't think I'm going to be at 100% again for another little bit. But like I said, when it's good, it's good. And I'm really excited about it, because if I can get my arm and my not my arm. My arm's fine. It's my brain that's being a jerk right now. If I can get it to cooperate with me, it's going to be good. It's going to be really good. But we'll see. I fell into a really good groove on the Booyah Cup stuff. Again, we'll talk about that a little bit more next week. But if you guys saw those matches that I had with like Holt and Gates and Baggish and stuff like that, I just feel like I can't. Obviously, I got beat. Gates beat me twice, but in soft tip, if you're both playing at that level, whoever wins the bowl is going to win the match. Just simple as that. So I could play perfect darts, but if he's playing perfect darts too, I mean, my 9 is worth his 10. So, or sorry, well, he hits 9, I got to hit 10. So I needed to win those bowls. But again, we'll talk about that more next time. But anyway, to kind of close this out, because we're just past a half hour, it's caused me to reconsider what I'm going to do for the rest of the year. Initially, I was going to, like I said, try to tear up the challenge tour, and I had full confidence that I was going to do that. What I didn't expect was a hitch to be thrown in to my throw. I'm actually happy that it's just kind of a little bit of a hiccup. I want, maybe not hitch, but hiccup, because if it was a hitch or dartitis, then I'd have a lot more to worry about, because I've had it before, and it wasn't great. I actually looked up Virginia Beach 7 years ago. It was 7 years ago, right around this time, playing with Dave Lorena, where I threw a 3-leg match and averaged something like a 1.2 for the match. I couldn't let go of the dart. Not in the same way I can't let go of the dart now. But anyway, so I'm actually supposed to be in Germany right now, literally right now, getting ready to play Challenge Tour tomorrow. And I made the decision that while the competitor in me and the way that my good game is good right now, it doesn't make sense to do it. Because I don't know that I'm going to go to Challenge. Even if I was doing pretty well, it depends on where I was in the standings. But I got DPFL coming up, and it's the same weekend as Challenge Tour, and I made over $10,000 at DPFL last year. I don't want to miss that. I had to skip a Challenge Tour event last year because it was the same weekend as Bullshooter. Well, then they moved it a week back, but the problem was that weekend was then the CDC, and I'm playing for a World Championship spot. So because I had a poor performance at Challenge Tour, and I was something around like 36th on the rankings, the only incentive to go, and the reason I really wanted to go, was because if I did do well, I was going to get invited to stay for the Pro Tour, because the pros do not like traveling to Germany for some reason. They regularly skip out. But being 36th on the rankings, knowing that I could play like I did at Q School those first 2 days, throwing average on 99 to a ton, just blowing up the scoring. But remember, I didn't make it past the top 64, and then I didn't make it past the top 16, even playing like that, because it's great that you're playing that. It increases your odds of winning, but if your opponent is also throwing 100 on you, you may not win that match. And I didn't. I lost with 102. So it wasn't like I played bad. My opponent shot like a 96, whatever it was. And you know, it is what it is. So now I have to go to Germany. I have to make sure that this issue that pops up usually pretty much every day that I play. But again, it is an everyday thing, but it doesn't linger as much as whereas it was an all-day thing in January. Now it's just a kind of, you know, if I play for 5 hours, it might creep in for an hour or so, right? But I'm able to kind of work through it. But when it hits in the middle of an event, then I'm screwed, unfortunately. I don't seem to correct it in enough time. But because it's getting better and better, I'm not worried about it. But again, I have to go over there, hope that that doesn't happen at the wrong time, that I play really well, and I get lucky enough that my opponents struggle, or, you know, even if they play well, that I just come ahead. So I've got to climb the rankings. I have to hope that the people above me struggle. And look, trust me, my confidence in my ability, I could go over there and it would not surprise me if I swept the whole weekend. I believe I can do that. In fact, I believe I should be doing that when I'm playing well, but unfortunately I'm not playing well, or at least I'm not playing my best right now. So it didn't seem worth the risk to spend $2,000 to go and play Challenge Tour, try to win, but hope for those things to fall in place just enough for me to play the Pro Tour Monday, Tuesday. In fact, I believed in myself so much that I didn't even I booked my flight leaving Wednesday. It wasn't like I was going to book it for Sunday or Monday or whatever and then be like, well, if I make it, then I'll change it. No, I had my flight booked to come back on Wednesday because I already knew I was going to do that. But then I kind of had to check myself a little bit and be like, okay, the competitor in you feels this way, but we got to be realistic about this. And I made the decision pretty much like the day or two before I went to the Booyah Cup that I can't justify it, especially now that this is my job. I have to make smart decisions on things. Fortunately, it was a smart decision to go to the Booyah Cup because I decided on that at the last second too. But knowing that I was going to very, very likely miss the one during DPFL, it made it tough to financially justify going to this one, even though I did expect to do well. If I didn't, then I don't know. It wasn't gonna help me in my the mental battle that I'm in right now, for sure. So I might still go to the rest of some of the other challenge tours if I can line up Modus to make that trip more worth it. Then I will absolutely consider going to those. But I'm at a point now where my plan B is I just need to focus on what we have going on here. We got the cross border, we have CDC, where I can still earn my way into, you know, these big PDC events. And honestly, I think I prefer that. I don't mind playing in the big stuff, you know, once or twice, 3 times a year. I'm starting to find that the European stuff is I can't explain it, or I mean, I guess I can try, but it's, you know, last year I was inexperienced. I was trying it out. I wanted to see, can I hang with these guys? And then some of the great experiences I had practicing with Rob Cross, practicing with Scott Williams, actually beating them more than they were beating me. Getting to play guys like Luke Littler, got to play him at Modus, beat him all 3 times. I know I keep bringing that up, but look what the dude's doing. Of course, I'm going to brag that I beat him all 3 times I've played him. But you know, it's once I proved to myself that I could do it, and then I proved to everybody else that I could do it. And like, yeah, I lost the World Championships, but it was a great match. I proved that, you know, I can hang with the best. Joyce at the time was coming off a very good semifinal run or whatever it was just a week or 2 before. You know, I proved I belong. And then kind of once I got to that point, then it was like, okay, now that I've proven to myself and I proved to everybody else, is this what I want? Is this what I really want? Because a month away from my spouse, and I know I'm going to do that video and kind of get her perspective on things, because I don't really think we see enough of that. and everybody's experiences are different. Look, some of y'all don't even like each other, and you kind of like when you got that time apart. Uh, then there's us that, hey, she's my best friend. I hate that she can't be there, and I would love to take her, but that's another $800 flight. Every time she comes with me on a tournament, that's $60 in dog care a day. It would be nice if we had that free, or if we kind of had a trade off with somebody like, hey, you watch our dogs, we watch your dogs, blah. But we don't have that, so it's $60 a day. If she wants to come away with me for a week to go over there, like when I go to Modus, okay, $800 plus 7 times 60 is 420, so that's another 1,200 and 1,200 plus bucks plus her side of the train bills and stuff. It's just I can't afford to take her on these things if this is the lifestyle that we want to live. She still doesn't work, which is great. I don't want, if I can continue to afford to pay our bills with, with darts and coaching and other things, that's what I'm going to keep doing. But now we have so much talent here. I mean, a decade ago, we were sending some guys over there for world championships, but they weren't really taking us serious, but now they are. That's no disrespect to the other players. It's just our players today are better than they were 10 years ago. If I can list 16 players pretty much off the top, we can have our own top 16, our top 16 against their top 16, and we'd kick some ass. I mean, look, we got. I'm gonna look it up because I sent somebody, and I don't want to. I don't want to have to think and not be able to count. So, I mean, we got. Let's see. We got myself, we got Lobby, we got Danny Baggish, we got Jules Vendonga, we got Stowe Bunch, we got Jason Brandon, we got Leonard Gates, we got Jim Long, we got David Cameron, we got Jacob Taylor, we got Jake McMillan, we got Jeff Smith, we got Matt Campbell, we got Doug Bain, we got JT Davis when he's on his game, he's got some stage experience now and got to play at Modus. And there's other guys sprinkled in there that I'm probably not even thinking about. And I don't know. We got our own stuff going on here. Why? Maybe it's not such a good thing that we export our talent all over there. We got MSG that blew up last year. If you were there, it was big, and it honestly didn't feel that much different than the Ali Pally did. We got the cross border again coming up for the second year in a row. We got our own stuff that we can build up here. I'm going to PopCon. I'm going to help promote the game of darts to a bunch of nerds like me. Like when I say that, I mean, look, I've got the sports stuff. Like I was the jock in high school, but I was also the nerd. Like I hung out with. I listened to metal music, so I was friends with the metal kids. I was a jock, so I hung out with the sporty kids, and then I was a nerd, man. Like when I practice right now, like when I'm playing Grand Board against y'all, I usually have my microphone muted because I'm like listening to like Neil deGrasse Tyson, or like I'm listening to science videos. So. I'm going to go hang out with, and I worked for Epic Games there for a little bit. So, I got that little bit of connection there. So I'm going to go hang out with these kind of people, with my people, and, show them the game of darts a little bit. I want to promote here, and I think that's where I'm at right now. And very easily could change. I know that I can compete with them, and right now that's good enough. I'm making a living doing it here at home, where I can see my wife more often. I don't have to take a month away from her. So we'll see how it plays out. Got a small thing. We're going to go down to Florida. I looked at some of the other tournaments this weekend. There's one in Missouri that the payouts were decent, but it was kind of expensive and inconvenient to get to. There was one up north in the Massachusetts area, Montechusett, whatever it was, where the payouts weren't great, but it was cheap to get to, but still not quite there. So I plan to instead just spend the time with my wife. However, I was informed that there's a very small thing down in Florida going on that's soft tip, and obviously I'm just coming off a soft tip. And Florida, I can always fly to Florida super cheap. So I said, screw it. I got a friend to stay with down there, and PJ Stewart, who I haven't really seen a lot of since he went down there for flight school. He's going to swing through Orlando to pick me up, and me and the wife can take a trip that only costs me $250. And, if I want to win an event or two down there at the soft tip thing, it pays for my trip. And I got to take a free trip with my wife down to Florida, take her to the beach on Monday before we fly home. And that means I get to do some work. I get to kind of come hang out with people that might not normally get to mingle with me. Maybe they don't travel very much. And, I still get to hang out with my wife and some of my friends. So that seems a much more attractive thing for me right now. But again, that may change. I do like playing darts at the highest level. It is fun, and if things just happen to fall in place for me, uh, that leads that direction. Cool, so be it. This time, it didn't fall in place, so I'm going to do what I can to get ready for the next adventure and see what happens. All right. Well, I know this went longer than I wanted to. Imagine that. But anyway, hopefully you got some interesting information in here, and yeah, look forward to doing a quick recap of the Booyah Cup next week, and then around the same time frame, sit down with the wife and uh, answer some questions or ask her some questions and get some information out there for people that are up and coming and they want to chase this and see see the other side of it. As dart players, we get to see, and you're going to hear it from me all the time. You can ask Jules or Matt or whoever, but we rarely seem to hear from her. And I'm not going to tell her to be nice. I want her to answer the questions the right way. When I'm going to play Q school, of course she's rooting for me, she supports me, she loves me, and also she wants me to keep making money so she doesn't have to go back to work. But at the same time, she knows the commitment that comes with it. And so I know secretly she wasn't upset. Secretly, she was probably rooting against me just a little bit. And I would only expect her to be just like that. I would almost be more concerned if she was rooting for me than against me, if that makes sense. I know she wants to be with me, and I want to be with her, and that's tough to do when you're gone for a month at a time. But all right, guys, look forward to the next one, and I'll see some of you guys down in Florida this weekend. See you.